This is Frank Smith. We're here in Sheffield and we are weighing in.
Yes,
I get paid for that. Yeah. I'm cheap.
Yes, weighing in with Frank Smith. Frank, looking fresh. You need to give Eddie some tips, man.
Mate, to be honest, I look like I should be on a beach somewhere, not in Sheffield in the rain. But I get all my tips from Eddie. These are hand-me-downs, just like my personality.
Now I know you're lying. But listen, Frank, you're back from business in the US. You had 2 shows out there, 2 homecomings. Is it fair to say they didn't go as you wanted?
Yeah, look, you can't hide away from the fact the Pro Grey Zorilla fight wasn't as entertaining as we wanted. You know, look, we're the ones putting these shows together and the budget together to make them happen alongside DAZN. Obviously, we want the fights to be as entertaining as possible. Unfortunately, not every week you're going to get an absolute tear-up. That's the reality of life, of high-level sport. And you know, we move on from there. We're not going to sit here and say, yes, it was the best night ever. But at the same time, you kind of have to move forward and go, right, how do we improve that moving forward? And I'm sure Regis was upset with that performance in that fight. You know, when you though look at the Berlanga performance, I think everyone expected that big KO. I think it was an entertaining fight, and Jason Quigley showed a lot of heart in there as well. And we saw in that 12th round what Edgar Berlanga's all about as well. But you know, I think we can always look at things and say it could have been better, of course. But at the same time, we've delivered some great nights this year, and that, like I say, that is live sport.
Before we go into Saturday night here in Sheffield, just going back to one of the homecomings, recent interviews seem to suggest Regis Pro Greys will most likely fight Devin Haney. Here in the UK, we want to see our fighters in the biggest fights. Is Jack Catterall overlooked?
I don't think it's about being overlooked. I think at the same time, when you represent multiple fighters, you know, you need to look at it from every angle. And if the Regis Pro Grey Devin Haney fight, it's a big fight for our broadcaster in DAZN as well. So you know, we have to be mindful of that. We will still work out to give Jack Catterall the best possible opportunities, and Jack's also got the best possible chance because he's signed to us. So with all these fights, they're all there as part of the discussion. Imagine if Jack wasn't then signed to a promoter, had nothing to do with Regis Pro Grey, you know, it would be even harder. And the discussions would still be happening around Pro Grey fighting Devin Haney. So, you know, look, we will always push to deliver the best opportunities for our fighters, but we have to look at it from a 360 approach as well, and you know, from our broadcaster's perspective, delivering the biggest fights.
Frank, we're here in Sheffield. It's another one of your 140 pounders. It's another homecoming as well. Now, although Dalton's headlined here before, is there pressure on DAZN, on Dalton, and in fact all the fighters to make Saturday night a success?
Yeah, look, I think Dalton's got a lot of pressure on him. He needs a big performance on Saturday. He needs a big win. He needs to go out there and deliver a big win, and he knows that as well. You know, he wants to step on from here. You know, Sam Maxwell is going to be a very decent fight for him, a step-up fight as well. And but I think you're going to see a spectacular performance from him on Saturday night at home, and then build on to a big fight towards the end of this year. You know, he's ready to move very quickly, so we're excited about what the future holds.
One more on this card, a fight I've got a lot of personal intrigue in is Junaid Boston versus Ryan Amos. Not a lot of people know Amos, but coming from Nottingham, he was well known. He's the Midlands area champion. It's a big step up for Junaid. What do you guys want to see from Junaid?
Yeah, look, it's a real big step up, but Junaid's ready for it. He wants those step up fights. You know, he wants to keep learning, and Ryan, as you say, looks in great shape. He's a very good fighter, and I think it's going to be, a real test for Junaid. But it's what we need, and he believes he's going to be a superstar. We believe he's going to be a superstar. He's had some brilliant performances, great finishes, and you know, he wants to step on quickly. So respect to him and fair play. But I think we're in for a fun fight on Saturday.
Frank, away from this card, most of the talk this week, and as always, has been about the heavyweight division. Is the lack of fights being made in the heavyweight division hurting the reputation of the sport?
I think there's so much talking, and I think it's kind of the ups and downs with boxing. Is there's so much talking about it, or everyone has their view and doesn't always understand the detail behind it. You know, if it was easy, there'd be less of us, you know, doing a job. But you know, I definitely agree. Sometimes the fights not getting made affect the sport. Yes, I think the public play out of it all. You know, we've I think over the last 6 months or so, we tried to say, let's stop talking about it so much. We get asked questions a lot about it, but let's stop talking about it so much and just try and deliver. And that's our focus. We've got to deliver the best for our fighters. But I'm confident with the talks we're having, you know, especially around AJ against Deontay Wilder at the end of this year. Massive fight that I'm very confident what gets done.
With all these fights, big fights, like you said, going to Saudi, is Saudi good or bad for boxing on the whole?
Look, I think the investment in sport from not just Saudi but a number of territories is beneficial. If it helps deliver the biggest events, then it's beneficial. You know, Saudi's investment into all sports. You know, we've seen what they've done in golf. Obviously got Formula One. They're looking at ATP tennis. You know, I think it's beneficial for the sports, that added investment. And look, boxing's a dangerous sport. It's a hard sport. Boxers deserve to earn every penny they can from it.
Frank, the most recent update in regards to Joshua White 2 was that the rematch clause has been scrapped. Is there any further update as of today?
No, the contract's back with Team White. You know, I don't want to talk about it all too much because we're very close to the point of, you know, as soon as this gets released, it's kind of old news because something's changed. So it's, you know, we know we're at the point now. The show's 6 weeks away. We need to press a button and get moving one way or the other. So, you know, I think in the next 24 hours there'll be news and we'll be able to give you a full update. But we're working hard in the background.
With that fight hopefully being made, obviously AJ will fight White before fighting Wilder, and Wilder is looking like he's going to fight Ruiz. Out of the two, which one is taking a bigger risk?
I don't think Wilder Ruiz will actually happen. Okay, is the reality. I think they both fights have got different sides to them. You know, AJ against there's a lot of I don't know if the word's hate, but history, probably better word, between AJ and DillianWhyte. Yeah. So it has a different, you know, it has a different side to it, that fight. It's not just about the fight itself, it's about the build up and everything that's going to happen there. But I just don't see Wilder Ruiz happening, if I'm honest.
Frank, Canelo was signed with PBC. How big a loss is that for DAZN?
Yeah, look, obviously, we love working with Canelo Alvarez. He was we've had a great relationship with him and delivered some massive nights, and it's been great for our business and DAZN's. I think, you know, as with all these things, it gives us opportunity then to look at other areas to use that funding to deliver other big fights. I'm not sitting here saying, obviously, we're delighted Canelo's gone. That's obviously not my approach to it, but at the same time we now have to look as a business and with DAZN to deliver some big nights, and it gives us that budget and ability to do so.
Frank, last one, it's going to look like it's about to tip it down.
Oh no, sun's out again.
Frankwarren went off on you and Eddie.
On me?
You and Eddie. He called Eddie Tom Pepper at Matchroom, and he called you the T-boy. He said he watched the sparring video of both of you, and he said you couldn't get 2 rounds in a revolving door. What's your reaction to that?
To be honest, nothing really. Like, he's a grown man, and what is he, about 84? Grow up. Like, just focus on delivering big nights for your fighters and big shows. Don't worry about me being a T-boy. Mate, I'll be delighted to be a T-boy. I'm living a dream, mate. So don't worry about me, old Frankie boy.
Frank,
Tell him I'll make a cup of tea. I'll bring a cup of tea to Hertfordshire for him.
We'll leave it there, Frank. Thank you for your time and thank you for weighing in.
Cheers, mate.